What's going on, you guys? We back at it with some Until Dawn, some R&R. I know this has been a lost concept for a while. Unfortunately, my city decided they weren't going to invest into their movie theater, so someone else did. So we got that going for us, and the first movie off the block, off the truck, is ironically a gaming movie, and it's Until Dawn. For those of you who don't know, that this is based off a video game, and we are going to be talking in depth about it. So, first off, I want to set expectations, King. What did you feel going into this movie? Because I feel like as video game movies, it's either this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, or this is dog shit. And it's always the same thing.
Well, yeah, it's like either or, right? It's either you're going to have a great experience and you're going to equate it to the game, or you're going to have a terrible experience and it's nothing like the IP that you have come to love. And the only reason why, as a game, you went to the movies to go see this. Now, if you're a hack and slasher type of person, that's cool. You know, you probably went there not knowing what Until Dawn was. You probably thought it was just original IP. Well, no, this IP has been cultivated over the years over on the PlayStation ecosystem, and they just did a remaster or remake of the game, and updated all the graphics for the PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation 5 itself. So, and in seeing that, I thought it was just like a movie tie-in. I was sorely mistaken going into this film. So my expectations of it being that I have played the first one, ended the first one. I didn't get a chance to play the remake, but after seeing the movie, I definitely want to play the remake. And actually, I was at the store, the PlayStation store today, looking for. I thought it was an upgrade path. I thought I was going to be able to cheat my way with $10 to get the remake.
Is it sad that after playing that, I actually did? After watching the movie, I was like, I kind of want to play the game again. Like,
And it had the desired effect. I think that was the desired effect, right? As a gamer, you wanted to relive your best moments from the game, because you know the movie robs you of those aspects, and we'll get into depth about that stuff. But as somebody that is intrigued, like let's say you don't know, but you just found out after you left the movie theater, I'm pretty sure it's going to intrigue you enough to go and try it out. The same way I think the Gran Turismo movie had the same equal effect on those people that saw the Gran Turismo movie. They probably had a spike in game sales. Same way Minecraft movie, people saw Minecraft, and then they had an immediate spike in the Minecraft video game. So I think these movies are doing their intended purposes for the publishers. So I think we're gonna have a good talk here today. I think so.
yeah, how I want these to be is I don't want them to really be too much scripted. I just want us to get in here, give us our personal opinion. Now, I don't know if you want to count spoilers. So what we'll do is we will do
Now,
spoilers.
you want
But
to do
I
spoilers?
think it'll be like the last 5 minutes. Like we will tell
Okay.
you
Yeah,
right
okay.
before we start getting to the spoiler territory. So
All right.
right now, let's just talk about the atmosphere. Did you feel like they did good as a video game
All
to
right.
like the
So in the
fan
video.
base of the Until Dawn people?
All right. So the video game guys, y'all already know that there's 8 protagonists in the video game, right? And in this movie, there is one, two,
I think five.
three, four.
There's
No,
the
five,
because
five.
there's the two chicks, the two dudes, and
Yeah.
then there's the
No,
Asian chick. She
well, there's 3 chicks, 3
yeah.
chicks and 2 dudes. And in the game is it's like an equal team, right? So it's different because the game has to stretch out over a period of time. I think the game is like 12 to 18 hours worth of gameplay. Whereas the movie has to condense everything into a 2-hour film, hour and 45 minutes, to be honest with you. So I understand the reason why not expanding the cast, but they did keep key figure from the game in the movie. So I can't be too upset with that because It was a central piece. And later on, when we get to spoilers, we're going to talk about that central piece and what it actually means later on, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually feel like they did a really good job on the atmosphere of Until Dawn. Maybe it's
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, this isn't the story of Until Dawn. This is a completely different thing. It's not like they're like recasting people. Like this is on its own story. But the thing is like Until Dawn, I always felt would be good, kind of going the direction that like some games do, where like the Final Fantasy franchise, where they're not connected to each other. They're just a different story. I think Until Dawn, kind of like Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I think that's a good direction they could take the brand, where Until Dawn is just the name of, telling you stuff that's going on and telling you a good
Right.
story, the horror flick and whatever
Slasher.
is after. Yeah,
Well,
slasher.
yeah. Yeah. Well, so how I take this is, first of all, I take it as a prequel. That's one. Two, the way it's set up that it can be exactly what you talked about. It can be that franchise where there's many different locations with many different stories told that are many different outcomes based off of what was supplied to us as the viewer. When you enter the movie theater and you're given the scenario. The scenario, of course, like all horror films, is you have this incredibly attractive cast, right? So you have these young, vibrant people. And what I did like, I love the outfits. The outfits didn't date the piece, right? It didn't put you in a time period where you kind of knew where it was. It felt to me like it was a late 90s, early 2000 movie with the attire of the people that was there. So it wasn't dated like, okay, it's happening right now. You don't know when it's happening. You don't know if it's happening in the late 80s. So it gave it a sense of, okay, it feels like a throwback film immediately to me. Like, from the all hallmarks, the jock who's surprisingly intelligent, the Asian who's in tune with her spiritual self, the spunky thought who actually has a heart and doesn't want to jump around from man to she's non-binary, whatever. And then you have the two lovebirds who are broken up, and he's only there to support her, hoping they can rekindle something from the past, while the main protagonist is there in search for her long lost sister who went missing over a year later. And that little hallmark is the recipe for movie horror slasher films, and they did it perfectly from the intro. I honestly believe so. You're muted.
I always judge these movies off of like what I personally believe they intended to deliver, and I think they delivered everything that they wanted to. I do feel like they were being very respectful towards the gaming portion. They were being respectful towards the atmosphere in general. I will say that this is one of the better horror flicks I've seen in a while. Like most of these horror flicks, they don't make me jump. They don't creep me out. They don't do none of that. Like a lot of the times in horror flicks, I be laughing more than anything else. But it's like, man, you really fell for that? Are you serious? But I ain't gonna lie, King. There was some times in here where I was like, yeah, they got me a little bit. Like,
Yeah, like immediately from the rip, they get right to the action. Like, it's okay. So it's an inconsistency that happened, but I understand in the realm of video game that kind of happens. All right, cool. I'm cool with that part. I'm cool with the whole setup. I know it's going to be a horror flick. I know it's going to be horror tropes. I know you got to play into it. So now I'm looking for the parameters in which the game is going to be played, as far as the film goes. And the parameters that they gave me was you could not leave that the circumference of the rain wall until you stood up for 24 hours, right? And you also could not stay put in any given space. You had to have constant motion in order to escape the night or be part of the night. And there was no set amount of times in which the night will continue to attack you. So it was a death rebirth type of thing. No given day was the same. It fell in line with the video game where it was any given path. No true path was the same in the video game. You could choose many different ways. So I see how they played on that and how they worked it into a movie trope, and given those parameters, giving those guidelines, the movie did not stray away from any of that. It stayed true to those guidelines that the principals started from the beginning all the way to the end of the film. And I respect the creativity that they use in order to tell the story.
Yeah, I actually feel that there were a couple things that didn't really sit well with me. There were some incidences where, like, when they would explore like beyond the water, the water little line, I felt like that area could have been explored a little more in the game in the movie,
Right.
Because it was just like one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, we're not going back there.
Exactly, right.
So I feel them that, you know, once you expand that, they wanted the focus to be more on, you know, the direct area that they are. But one thing I will say that was a little confusing, and maybe you can voice in on this a little bit, is, you know, stuff starts expanding the more they die. And I felt like the water thing was just took out. Like, you forgot all about it. So that was the biggest thing I'd say. But one thing I will say, because I said these things ain't going to be that long, is I feel like this movie deserves a sequel. I feel like they did enough. I was 7, 8 out of 10 with mine. You know, kind of where I felt like Minecraft was. But I enjoyed my experience. It's not one of those things where it's like I wouldn't watch it again if it popped up on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts. I will give it a solid 8. It's not a 10 out of 10 movie. It leans heavily into the tropes of horror, slasher. Yes, they're gonna do stupid things, but the ingenious ways in which they kill these kids is insane. Now, the best part for me is, like Attic said, it was one instance where they said, yo, we're gonna jump into this rain and we're gonna get out of here. And then there was another instance where the rain wasn't there, and the town actually expanded, and certain things was there.
Saying. Like, right, the more they died, stuff started expanding, and then all of a sudden, like, that plot was kind of took away. So I thought that was the biggest criticism I can give. It's like, if you're going to open up plot holes, make sure you keep them open.
But I could give you the reason why. Anytime that the rain was taken away, the car wasn't there. If you noticed, they would go outside and it would be like a cemetery, or they would go outside and it'd be another house, and then it would be a forceful push into that house. It was like a guided tour into their doom. And anytime there was like any expansion, the vehicle wasn't ready for them to jump in. The moment the vehicle became ready is probably when, you know, the sun rose. But at the end of the day, I kept looking for those little things to see if they stayed true to it. And it just reminded me about the butterfly effect that you would get inside the video game. The butterfly effect will change things going forward in the game that didn't normally happen had you chose another direction, right? So you go and this thing is not there. So that's the same thing with this. That thing's not there. What I did like is that they held true to the Wendigo premise, where the doctor was making Wendigos. And that was a cool
really
aspect.
Good job with the Wendigo.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought they wasn't going to attack it.
Did you? Okay. Let's just. We're going.
This is a spoiler part.
Yeah. Let's go into the spoiler territory. Did you notice they put that? Once again, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Did you notice that they put the scene from the end of Until Dawn where everyone's like, "Stop talking, stop moving," and they were just sitting there, because that's the last thing that happens in Until Dawn. And I got my chick killed because of that, because they said, don't move the controller.
And you moved the controller.
No, I didn't. But the controller decided it was being moved. So, yeah, because those controllers have like really, really sensitive. They're very sensitive. So, like, I felt like I even breathed on that sucker. It said I moved it. So I really enjoyed that stuff, like that Easter egg. I do think they could have did more with the sister.
Oh yeah. You talk
Yeah,
about after she had turned. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like the sister at that point in the time was what's what I'm looking for. They introduced her just to do nothing with her. Like,
Yeah, well, I think they wanted her dead. I think they wanted her to stay dead, and they wanted to concentrate on the five characters that they did have, like because it was more compelling about the five characters that was there, and not the one lone idiot that went alone. Now, I couldn't even imagine being trapped there in that town in that manner alone, right? But what I did like is they were determined not to escape the town without taking the whole team.
yeah, I
So
really
yeah,
like. There were times where they could have won. They could have easily won, and then Homegirl was like, "Kill me," because
nope, kill me.
one of us is dead. Like,
Yeah, kill me because we're still is one is gone. And I said, damn, I got to rock with this, right? And it's not easy kills, people. These are brutal kills. It's
so tell me the explosion one didn't. Like, oh
that
yeah,
water joint had me. I laughed so hard with the water joint because I really didn't see that coming. I don't know about you, but I did not see that water joint coming.
no, I saw the water thing coming because they made a very big deal that the person before it said the water's not running, but now all of a sudden the water's running. Like
Oh yeah, but
movies don't normally change script like that, and then oh now the water's running, and then like I'm sitting here looking at them in this bathroom, I'm like they can't just sit in this bathroom all day. And what's funny is he said you can't just do that. And I'm like, why didn't they just go back in that bathroom and just not drink? Like,
but also the guy told them that you can't stay still. So they were sitting still, and it's like a game. It was going to force you to explore. It's going to force you to try to survive. It's going to force you to do something and to think. That's what made it so good. That's what made the movie so good. You weren't going to hold yourself up in a room and just wait for the sun to come up. That's not how the game is played. And the main antagonist made sure that he made that very clear to them.
yeah. So, yeah. What I enjoyed is they brought Homeboy back from the
Yep.
narrating thing. I really enjoyed that because he's the one that connects all their games. He's usually the person that's
Yeah.
in that room. And did you notice that place where she spoke to him at the end very resembled the
The
actual
room.
place? Like,
Yes, but did you? Okay, so also, did you see all the tags that she showed from all the people that
oh yeah,
he was?
one of them was the dude from the original game.
Yes. Yo, so okay. You see the missing people at on the board. The people when you go when the movie's over, and they start showing you the missing people. Those are the game developers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was super
See,
stoked at the
stuff like
fact that they
I
did
love.
that.
Stuff like that I love that not only they didn't have to do that.
No, they didn't.
But they was like, look, we're going to find a place to respect the people not only that played the game, but the people that made the content that we are making into a movie. I didn't know that. That's dope. That's dope. Like,
And I like the if you looked at the TV screens at the end, it popped up and it showed you the Until Dawn actual game scenario, like the log cabin with the snow and all the rooms. And see, because that's what I was looking for in the beginning. I'm like, where's the log cabin? Where's the stuff like that? And it wasn't there. And they went into this area and they talked about the town and how it was buried on another town was buried on top of the town, built on top of the town, and the town was evacuated, but some people were still there and went into the tropes of that. I thought the story was well enough that it lent to a sequel being made. Hopefully, it does good in the box office as a slasher film. The jump scares, the moment to moments were perfect.
yes, they did a good job making like like it creeps you out. Like,
Oh
one
yeah,
thing I will say is, I said at the beginning when that dude came in with
the Smash Mouth.
the Smash Mouth dude, I was like, dude, there's 5 of you. Jump his ass.
Jump him.
And then what's
Jump
funny
him.
is they didn't jump him then, but they jumped him in the end and messed him up. Like,
Yo, I think they kind of weakened him because in the beginning, he got stabbed and he was just like whatever. He got hit with stuff. It was like whatever. He got hit with a chair, and then later on, they wore him down and was able to get him. But before then, that guy was purely unstoppable. And they did some stuff that I didn't think that they was going to do to him, but they did it. They got his ass. And it was good because he was pretty much, he was like Nemesis. It was really good. I really enjoyed myself. I took my son to go see it, and we sat up there up front, and sat in the lean back chairs and just had a good time watching the film. It was his idea to go see it. I really didn't have any thoughts to go see it, but he chose to see it because he really likes the game, and I like the game as well. So, boom, it was kudos to him. And Attic went to go see it, so I was like, "Yo, let's talk about this on R&R. Let's bring back R&R since you got your movie theater back. No butter table, but hey, whatever. We outside, and we're going to be doing Thunderbolts next. So I'll be seeing Thunderbolts tomorrow, and we'll be talking about that next week."
Yeah, I feel you. We're gonna try to do this at least once a week. Hopefully more than that. We got some, reactions going up. I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. I might put this straight up. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But this is the kind of format you're gonna get. These are quick. We're only gonna really do movies. I say if we do TV shows, we just wait till the whole season's over. Like,
I'm with you.
yeah, because it's just like the weekly thing. It was just really hard to manage, but I feel like in terms of like movies, it's a lot easier to manage.
Because they don't come out all the time.
Yeah, but we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.